Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time here. On this channel, we talk about healing in your 20s, healing your fearful avoidant attachment style through inner work and self-discovery. And I'm so happy that you are here, that you are taking these steps to move forward on your healing journey. And I'm so happy that you brought me alongside you. So today we're going to be talking about consistency. We're going to be talking about how to actually continuously show up for yourself, especially when you notice patterns of self sabotage or someone who is healing from the fearful avoidant attachment style into a more secure one. So, if you have a fearful avoidant attachment style, you most likely will sabotage yourself because you do not feel worthy to receive whatever progress you start to make. You will literally not be able to be consistent until you heal this attachment style because you internally just do not feel worthy of whatever you are asking for or whatever you are working towards. You most likely feel bad about yourself. You don't feel that you are a good person. And if you feel that way, I know that you can heal. I know that this is just a skewed perception that you're seeing of yourself. And I know this because I've been there. I have literally just put myself down so much in the past with this because of this attachment style. And it has not allowed me to see how amazing I was, how resilient I was, because it was skewing my perception. I always thought I was a bad person, that I had to be on the lookout to see like what other people are saying, thinking that I had to show up perfectly, that I had to I wasn't allowed to make mistakes, because if I made mistakes, then that meant really that I was a bad person and that I'm not perfect, and I believed that I had to be perfect. And then it was just like a cycle of all of these things, and it didn't allow me to really feel how powerful I truly am as a human being. It just took all of my power away, because when I kept thinking all of these things, that I'm not worthy, that I'm a bad person, that I had to show up perfectly, that I'm not allowed to make mistakes, I could not be consistent. Whenever I would start to connect with someone, and whenever I would start to feel that intimacy between me and my partner, I would just pull away. I would literally start noticing like all the different ways of like what their hair looked like or what they're wearing, and I would literally start to criticize them in my head, and I just couldn't be consistent because I didn't even feel worthy of receiving that love from them. I didn't even feel worthy to just show up and receive everything that I am asking God for. I really, really didn't. And a lot of people think, oh, like, why is it everything that I'm asking for is not coming my way? Like, this world sucks, and like, just nothing ever works out. That's not really true. You will receive whatever you feel you are worthy of receiving. You cannot receive more than what you think you are worthy of receiving. So, as you break down those limiting beliefs, as you break down the belief of that I have to prove myself to be worthy, that I am a bad person, or I have to show up perfectly, all of these are limiting beliefs that just skew your perception. They make you believe that you have to show up a certain way, that you're not allowed to be a human being who makes mistakes, and don't allow you to have consistency in your life. When you constantly have these thought patterns in your head of I'm not a good person, I can't show up consistently, I always hurt people, whatever it may be that is going on in your head of criticizing yourself and others, you're not going to be able to show up for yourself. You're not going to be able to show up consistently for yourself if you're constantly having these thoughts of I am not worthy. You're just telling yourself I'm not worthy. So I'm going to give you a way to start feeling more worthy of that. And that is to actually show up for yourself, to start showing up for yourself and doing the things that you say that you're going to do. Instead of saying that you are going to do something and then bailing on yourself, find something that is realistic for you to do on this goal that you want to achieve, on this thing that you want to do, and start to build self-trust by doing that thing. Do not go all out and say, oh, like I want to have a fit body and I want to be healthy and I want to feel strong, and then like you have this goal for yourself to do like an hour long workout when you right now where you're at, you're not really doing that. So the secret to consistency is literally being honest with yourself about where you're at. And being honest with yourself about where you're at will help you actually make more progress. It does not mean that you are a bad person or whatever beliefs you have about starting somewhere and being a beginner at something. It's like the example that's coming to my head is like trying to speak a language or read in a language that you don't know the alphabet to. You cannot expect yourself to be an expert at something that you have not even started in, you've never done before, you haven't been consistent in, you haven't practiced in. That is not how that works. You cannot expect yourself to do that. You cannot expect yourself to be an expert or to go all out on something and do an hour-long workout when you haven't done the basics. If this is one of your goals, you can start out by saying, okay, I want to be fit and I want to do all of these things. I want to feel healthy and I want to feel strong. What can I do? What would I enjoy? How can I make this fun for myself? How can I make it easy to show up for myself every single day on this goal? Well, maybe I can start doing this for 5 minutes. Maybe I can do this for 5 minutes a day. I do a plank and then I do like this, I don't know what else you can do, but depends on what your goal is, what body part you want to feel stronger into. But you can start showing up, looking up workouts, enjoyable things, like maybe even dancing, looking up dancing workout videos. You can do something for literally 5 minutes and you are building a habit every single day. Set all of these intentions with yourself so that you're able to have a standard for yourself. When you don't have a standard for yourself and you just have this vague idea of, I want to feel stronger and I want to be consistent in it and I want to spend an hour at the gym or whatever it may be. I don't even like spending an hour at the gym, not my thing. But if that is one of your goals, you cannot expect to go yourself from 0 to 100. Like, you have to set a standard that you start off with, be honest with yourself with where you're at, and start from there and increase it as you go. As you feel that you are improving, you can start challenging yourself more. As you start feeling more consistent and trusting yourself and trusting that you can show up for yourself and trusting that you are a good person, you are worthy of this time, you are worthy of this energy, you are worthy of this care, you are worthy of this love that you are giving yourself by showing up for yourself and your body so you can feel good in your own body. You are worthy of all of that. And when you start to believe that you are worthy of all of that, you will receive that and you will start to be more consistent, because it's not necessarily about forcing yourself to do all of these things. You probably want to do them naturally. You want to feel good in your body and you want to show up for yourself. But sometimes we have this good perception of thinking we're bad, thinking we're not worthy of the time, thinking that we just are not worthy of the energy. And so we don't do it. We don't show up. So when you start focusing more on what you're worthy of, giving yourself that, by showing up for yourself, it's almost like a cycle. The more you show up for yourself, the more you're showing yourself that you are worthy of this, just for existing, just for being you. You don't have to actually really do anything differently aside from show up for yourself. That is it. You don't have to impress anyone else. You don't have to even impress yourself, like go from 0 to 100. You just get to show up with where you're at and be honest with yourself, and the rest unfolds naturally. So a big reason why, as a fearful avoidant, you may have a hard time being consistent is because you believe that you cannot make mistakes. You are not allowed to make mistakes, and making mistakes makes you a bad person. That you have to show up perfectly and you're just not allowed to start anywhere, and you just have to show up, be perfect right off the bat, no practice necessary. And this stops you from making progress. This stops you from being consistent, because that is not realistic. That is not how the world works. Anybody who wants to become consistent at something, who wants to become good at something, who wants to practice any kind of skill, needs to show up every day and make mistakes, be willing to make mistakes, be vulnerable enough to accept their mistakes and learn from them. And just learning this on its own, and accepting that you are not a bad person if you make mistakes, when you make mistakes, because you're going to make them, then you're going to be able to be consistent, and you're going to be able to show up for yourself when you want to. Because it's the fear of making mistakes and having to show up perfectly, feeling like you have to show up perfectly every single time, is what stops you, is what just cuts off all of your progress, and it leads you to self-sabotage. Because if you keep thinking like, oh, I have to show up perfectly, and I can't make mistakes, and I can't just do a 5 minute workout, and I have to do like an hour right off the bat. And let's say you want to learn a language, and you can't learn the alphabet first, and you have to just know the language and start speaking it right off the bat, but you're not allowed to make mistakes. If those were your beliefs, like let's say you don't even have this attachment style, if those were your beliefs as a person, do you think that you would show up? Do you think that you would even want to try? No, you would not even want to try. You would not even want to be consistent, because you're constantly thinking that trying and failing and making mistakes makes you a bad person. So, in order to overcome that, it's important to become aware of this pattern, and knowing that it is just a reflection of this attachment style. It is not a reflection of you, or how you get to show up, or what you get to have. So if you feel that you need a little bit more help, a little bit more guidance in learning more about your patterns as you heal your fearful avoidant attachment style, as you just heal in general and learn more about yourself as a person, I have created a guide that is full of more than 30 journal prompts that will help you really understand your patterns that come up as someone with a fearful avoidant attachment style, and help you heal into a more secure one. And it also just helps you learn more about yourself as a person, as someone who is on their healing journey. And I feel like this is so, so, so important for everybody to ask themselves, to notice, because when you have this attachment style, you think that all of these ways that you feel, and you think that all of these ways that you view the world are because of you, because of who you are, because you are broken, because you need fixing. And even on my healing journey, when I would go like listen to books and do all of these things, it was for me so I could fix myself. And I didn't even realize how like much I was just doing this to try, because of the belief that I was broken, that I was a bad person. And until I healed this attachment style, I did not realize how much it skews your perspective in so many different areas of life. It skews your perspective in your relationships, your work, your views in life. It skews everything that you see, and skews your perception of yourself, and how whole you are, and how, I don't want to say perfect you are, because perfect is not a thing. Perfect does not exist. You are whole, and you are not broken, and you are not a bad person. And until I realized this, until I healed this attachment style, I did not feel that I was worthy of anything I was asking for. I did not feel worthy to be here and speak on YouTube. I did not feel worthy of receiving love in my own relationship. I did not feel worthy of so many things that I was asking for. So if this is something that you struggle with, if you struggle with being consistent in doing the work and consistent in being able to receive what you ask for, being able to receive your desires, being able to receive the love that you have been longing for, that your soul craves, this is going to help you on that. And the link is in the description below. And again, if you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments. I love, love, love hearing from you. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.